Well, do you remember when my daughter took a look at the Funko My Little Pony vinyl figures? Overall, she was pretty impressed with what she saw, but she did also point out there were a few painting flaws on some of the characters. But as an adult and someone who looks at a lot of toys, I'd like to compare these vinyl figures to a large Wreck-It Ralph toy that I've purchased, which are all around about the same price, give or take a few dollars. Maybe this is a cruel comparison to make, or maybe it will expose those Funko figures for what they are. Well, hi, it's Leo. I'm going to have a few words to say about these ponies. Where I live, you could be paying, if you're lucky, just above $20. If you're really unlucky, you could be punching up near the $30, but they are very hard figures to find. My daughter, this is the first one we found. It was Fluttershy, and my daughter was very, very impressed with this toy. In fact, I was as well. Kitty mark there. I don't know why some of them have it only on one side. This one's one of the ones with only on one side, but others had it on both. But I think it's a very, very good rendition of these very, very popular pony characters. We're still to get our head around which ponies are coming out next, which ones we've got to try and hunt and find. We have looked at some other YouTubers doing videos on these, and I think from what we can work out, everyone seems to love Derpy. I mean, it's funny, this is just a background pony who has become very, very popular, and I think you watch the TV series and it's a matter of all the fun of trying to find when Derpy appears. And I would say in this vinyl figure they have Derpy's eyes exactly right. It is interesting if I take a look at one of the more complex vinyl figures here, the way these have been put together. My daughter did mention this, I think, but she never really pointed it out. The fact that they are all these different pieces which have been basically made into one. And if you look carefully on this, you can see where the seams are. Some of these are a little bit rougher than others, but nevertheless I suppose they're made to a price. But I'm sort of thinking if I'm paying $25 for one of these things, I'd really want it to look good. I want the painting to be up to scratch. I think my daughter pointed out maybe on this one here, it was a bit disappointing, the collar area here, the way this has been painted. If we take a look at it again, I'm not sure how well that's showing up on camera, but it does look a little bit scrappy the way it's been finished off. You know, when we're paying good money for toys, I do expect to see a fair bit of work put into them. And actually on that thought, let me reach over and get this large Wreck-It Ralph figure. These are actually a fairly expensive figure, and I think what you're paying for here is the fact that these are amazingly detailed. The painting on these is what you call, you know, very good. And when you start to scrutinise this, even though it's been bashed around a bit because this has had a bit of a hammering, it's been played with in the home, there's a bit of paint missing, but that's only because it's been played with. It's actually a very well painted and finished off figure, and I think that's why a lot of the action figures and just toy figures in general tend to be fairly pricey. But you know, when I see that, I got this on special, I wouldn't want to be paying top dollar for this. Wreck-It Ralph might have been a toy that wasn't that popular. These things were selling, well, fairly cheaply, but their high price when they were first on the market was actually very, very high. And because I'm half amazing and because I pick things up when they were on special, there are a lot of Wreck-It Ralphs on special. I bought a whole lot of the smaller ones. This is the larger figure. Comes with like a breakaway wall as well. And I've actually got the price tags on the back here, and we can see how much this was and how it got reduced. Its original price was, call it $24.95. It's $25. It got down to $18, and there was another 30% off that. So it became a very, very cheap toy for the size of it. And like I keep saying, the action figures, especially licensed ones, can be deadly expensive. You know, it is curious, at the high price, Wreck-It Ralph was the same price as those pony figures there. You're basically $25 figures for me. We've had a very close look at Wreck-It Ralph. We've certainly had a close look at these ponies, and you know what? When you come back and scrutinise these ponies versus Wreck-It Ralph, these are nowhere near the refinement that you would see on that Wreck-It Ralph figure. So I'm sort of thinking if I was picking this up for maybe $10, maybe that's more like the price I should be. And also remember, the Wreck-It Ralph toy is actually a fairly more complex toy. It's got lots of articulating bits on it. Its arms are articulating, the legs articulate. It's actually got an action thing on the back here, so I can go like smash, smash, smash. There it is there, doing its thing. Boof, 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 boof. Don't tell my daughter, she'll get very angry. But hey, that's me looking at this as an adult and scrutinising these, you know, in a fairly tough way. But children will not scrutinise it like I do. they'll be a My Little Pony fan, and they will think that's possibly the best figure they've ever seen in their whole life. And as for the other ponies that were seen in this video that my son was playing with, they came out of this box here. Do you see anything strange about the artwork there? Do you recognise the ponies there? I'm sure you do. And if you're a little child and you saw that, you'd be thinking, oh, look at that, it's My Little Pony toys and they look so realistic. But sadly, the truth be known here, these are knockoff, clone, nasty Darkside toys. The funny thing is, I'll sit in a shop like this and they will present like My Little Pony toys. They were $3 a pop for me. And they're actually very popular. I ended up getting a whole box because I want to make a point about this, and I want to show the fact that the artwork on these boxes is where the deception is. But when you have a bit of a scrutiny of one of these ponies, you'll be sort of disappointed, I can tell you. And you'll probably find that it's going to have some faults in it. You may find the hair will come out fairly easily. It won't be made up to the same high standard that real pony toys are at. And you're thinking, well, it's a cheap pony, it's only $3, and I'm speaking in Australia here, but if you were really keen and cluey, you would have picked up the ponies that were at McDonald's, Happy Meal toy ponies. And you don't need to buy the Happy Meal, you don't have to buy that meal, you can buy the pony individually for $2 in Australia. I don't know if you can do the same in the USA, maybe people can tell me that. But there's no need to dabble in this nasty Darkside stuff. There's actually quite a few ponies in the Happy Meal toy ones. There's Rainbow Dash there. I'm not sure how much we can see of her. She hasn't escaped from her bag yet. There was Princess Luna. There's a couple of others as well. I think I've got the whole series. But my point here is, you know, if you're clever and you're looking for a cheap pony toy, the Happy Meal ponies were a very, very good deal. $2 toy, fantastic. I think that's where the Happy Meals really make people happy, and they key you into franchises so well. But as for this stuff here, it's nothing but trouble. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. I did pull this video away from the review where my children looked at the Funko figures. That video was just getting a little bit too long, and I need to save my YouTube channel because I've got shocking attention span data. Tell me your thoughts on these Funko vinyl figures. I'd love to hear that. As always, thanks for watching and bye for now.